with my final thoughts on Lost on Mars Far Cry 5. At the start of the game, it's kind of interesting. You're exploring a new planet. You've got the gravity belt to play with, which allows you to jump and float and hover and all sorts of stuff. That's a pretty cool mechanic to start with, because you have to avoid walking on the sandy, soily bits, otherwise you get eaten by stuff coming up from underneath. That's kind of cool to start with, and the jumping puzzles of going up the towers is also pretty cool. I actually like that, having to jump from platform to platform and fly across to get to the top. There's not too many of them to do. I thought that was interesting. The combat in it, the guns are kind of cool to start with, but towards the end, you do get the more explosive ones, the bigger and better ones. But the combat overall is a little bit repetitive. It's find the next alien, kill it, find the next alien, kill it. The Queen fights, if you played them solo, probably pretty tough. But the whole lot is just kind of repetitive all the way through. And the ending is absolutely awful for a DLC. I mean, it is absolutely atrocious. It just ends really abruptly. The last fight isn't as big or an epic as it should be. We playing in co-op mode probably made it a bit easier, but even so, it wasn't challenging, it wasn't interesting, and the story just cuts off and stops. There's some good stuff to the game. Playing with the guns and messing about with them is kind of cool, but the Clutch Nixon stunts are a disappointment in Far Cry 5. There are loads in there, different vehicles. The ones I looked at in here were all wingsuits, and there was so much scope for doing like Mars rover type of vehicles, driving and things like that. Would have been far more interesting, I think. This is definitely more of a disappointing DLC than the Hours of Darkness one, the Vietnam one. That had more flavour to it, more interest, the story was better, and it had a much, much, much better ending. Big action fight that really fit the theme very well. This didn't work out, and Hurk going along with you as a companion was really annoying all the way through. You just wanted to shoot him. You were looking for his lost body parts, and he kept on going on about you finding his cock. That was the whole objective. You had to find his cock. Never mind his left leg and his right leg. He wanted his cock back. And you know what, in the end? You never found it. That played nothing. That should have played some part in the story for all the pain you had to go through of listening to him all the way through. So overall, the story, I didn't like that, and I probably wouldn't play Lost on Mars again. If you got it for free, if you bought the pack that comes with the season pass and everything else and all the DLC, then by all means play through it and enjoy it. But if you're looking to buy these separately, don't bother. Don't pick this one up. Skip this one. The Hours of Darkness Vietnam one's a lot better, and we'll have to wait and see what the Zombies one is like. So overall, those are my final thoughts on Lost on Mars. Bit of a disappointment, but yeah, I'm quite happy to have played through it, but certainly won't be playing through it again.